Brad, obviously a very disappointing result. Was it that spell in the third quarter when you scored those 3 tries that did the damage?
Yeah, I thought for 65 minutes we were really good. First half, we started to get some good ascendancy and get on top, and I thought both teams were going at it physically, and it was just a real grind. We gave away a penalty, so there was just a 2-minute lapse of concentration in the first half. There was a penalty, and then they scored that try off a kick. Probably got a little bit lucky on that, so we were happy to come in at 6-2 at half time, and then just to start the second half. But we finally got a couple of sets that started at the try line, and we turned the ball. We gave away a penalty with the ball, and then we turned it over on tackle too. So, like a couple of individual lapses there, and on the back of those, a couple of individual lapses in defence. Really, it was a 10-minute window that hurt us, because I felt like, tried hard, good effort, good physicality, stayed in the fight, stayed in it, and we learned to do that for 80 minutes.
That's the thing again, isn't it? It's the search for an 80-minute.
Yeah, yep. I think we thought we were a bit clunky at times down at the try line with our spine, but that's our 5th combination, so we just need to get some time. And I thought there was some better signs anyway.
You take some positives from that last 20 minutes when you scored a couple of tries and put them under some pressure.
Yeah, that we actually stayed in the fight and in the grind, and like I said, we didn't get any good ball starting sets in the first half over the halfway. Then we got a couple at the back end in the second half and made the most of it. That was a good way to finish into what's next for us.
How's Andy Ackers, obviously?
He done his hamstring. I don't know how bad he'll have to have scans, but he done his hamstring.
Lucky Miller obviously came back. He showed some good signs in his first game since
December. Yeah, and he hasn't. I think he's done. To be honest with you, he's done one session with the team. That was on Wednesday. He's done other sessions, but he hasn't done anything with the team. So, we just need a bit of time, and if they can, that's what we just talked about. If we can keep with that mentality and attitude, we'll get better and better. I just need some time together now and hopefully Lockie can stay on the field, because I felt like he was a bit of a point of a difference for us. Hadn't planned on playing him 80, but then when we lost Ackers, I didn't really know, and he said he was going all right, so we had to run the gauntlet a bit there, but probably wasn't ready to play a full 80.
And Jared, was that just a selection?
Yeah, well, to make sure we had coverage for Lockie, Cindy can cover in the halves if he needed to, which at some stage the plan was to try and put him in the halves and move Jake back to fullback and take Lockie off.
Thanks, Brad.
You said in the week, Brad, that you had to enjoy being boring. Do you think you were boring enough tonight?
Yeah, because we started pretty boring, and like it was 6-2 at half time. Just probably when we got down there in the second half at the try line, we probably need to be a bit more boring there and build pressure. The first time we got to the last tackle, we scored. So, we didn't. We had a bit of that. We've got down here now. We need to turn it into points, and we didn't need to straight away. So that's a bit of a learning for us in progress.
It's a familiar story with errors costing you as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you address those? How can you?
Well, it comes down to, it's not a team thing, it's an individual thing. Because, we didn't make a lot early, and then, we just made them at the wrong times. And it's just blokes it's people trying too hard. Just need to be content to do their job and do their bit and allow other blokes to do their job.
You spoke in the week how you've come to realise what the Challenge Cup means to us over here as well.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. Again, the boys are disappointed in the sheds, and because they really wanted to make a fist of it, and we felt like for most of the game we gave a good account of ourselves, and the boys were feeling the same way. Probably for a good 60, 65 minutes we were right in it with them. But 15 minutes cost us, didn't it?
What about positives that you'll take away?
Oh, just that we we're right in the game, and that could have been easy when they scored a couple of tries back to back to turn the toes in, but we didn't. We kept fighting and finished the game out well. So we started the game well and finished the game well. We just got to manage that middle bit there.
They're a tough side to handle when they get on a roll, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and so that's encouraging that we're able to stop it and then finish strong. But we just got to take our lessons from it. It's disappointing because it's a knockout, so they're tough lessons to take. But hopefully it makes us better.
Brad, without second guessing Andy Acker's injury, you might have to have a 6 different game now with a 6 different spine next week. I mean, can you just give us an insight into how difficult that is for a team in terms of its cohesion and training and planning when you're having to change your spine players every single week?
It's more difficult for the spine themselves, those guys, instead of, like we don't have to change too much of what we want to do because everyone's aware on how we want to play. Like I think our back five are doing a really good job, the forwards are doing a really good job, and their roles don't change. It's just getting time on the training field with that spine, and just got to keep it nice and simple, and like not think that when we get into good ball positions that they have to, try and conjure up points. The points will come at some stage and we'll find a way if we're just a bit more patient there.
How do you think Jake went at half-back? Some nice kicks.
Yeah, he done some good things, and look, he done some things he'd probably like to do over again. But again, like they're not excuses. We just need a little bit of time there. And, but we need, we're coming up against Wigan next week, and then we've got Warrington, so we've got some tough games. But as long as we keep that tough mentality in that fight, it'll give us time to get better.